Did you know you can make art using some toilet roll and paint? Let me show you this super simple and super fun technique and teach you how you can make wonderful dandelion art at home. Stick around until the end to see how it turned out. Would you like to have some fun today? Because I'm craving something fun. Something that you can do on your own, with your friends, with your children, with your grandchildren. Anybody can do it. All you need is this. And some paint, of course. If you have been with me for over 4 years, then maybe you remember one of my very first videos that went viral. I made some dandelions using toilet paper roll. And I want to make something similar today. Let's collect all the tools we need. I've got some scissors, I've got the toilet paper roll. I was about to use this canvas, but then I thought, you know what? Let's go completely crazy. Let's do something else. I've had this for quite some time. And you can see my camera here. Let's do it on a mirror. Yes, it's possible. It's possible to do it on a piece of wood, on a table mat, anything you wish. Not on paper though, not on paper, because we're going to use pouring acrylic paint. I've also brought a sheet of plastic, but this is completely optional. I'm going to create a couple more tools just so you can see that this is not the only thing we can use. I also might use a very old straw. Now I'm cutting strips the same length, roughly the same. Don't make them too thick. But if you make them too thin, they'll break. So I think I can manage this, but not any thinner than this. I'm planning on 3 circles. This is going to be the mid-size. Then I'm going to do a bigger one using the plastic sheet. If it helps, you can make a line first, so you know which line not to cross. All right, so be cutting and cutting. That's what we need. Now very gently open it a little bit. So you will be able to do this, you see, quite springy. Nothing breaks. I didn't make them too thin or too thick. If it's too thin, it also will get really soggy in paint as well, so be careful. And now I'm going to make one that's bigger. So this one will be quite big. Now I need a bit longer than this. So how about, this is all approximate. I'm not really worried too much, so I'll make my lines roughly like that. I'm not going to cut any more because otherwise once I fold it together it's going to be massive, so I can later on make it much smaller. So let's cut this stage. This is going to be just my handle, so it can be as short as I want, like that. I'm going to bend. Ooh, that's big. See that? That's a nice size. I am taping it together now. And I'm seriously thinking of reducing some of them. I've removed a few, so it's a bit more sparse. And if I see it's like double, I might remove that one as well. But you know, with this tool, you can keep it forever. Nothing will happen to it once it's washed. Now I'm going to make a really small one for the middle, so I'm cutting my straw to make the central part. So this is my little tool, just like that. Color wise, we're going minimalist. We've got black, nice and stylish, gold and bluey gray, because I like it. I'll tell you what's in it. Medium thickness, 1 part of paint, 1 part of my pouring medium, which is PVA glue and water, and 1 part of Floetrol. Okay, now I was going to put it higher, but then because it's so thin, I might actually apply paint here, and now I'm going to lift it up later. I don't want it wobbly. This is so much fun. Oh, look at this. Yay. Okay, I messed up. I didn't want to mess up my white table, but let's spread it. So lovely. This is slightly thicker than I usually use. I want to be sure the mirror is not peeping through, the silver is not peeping through. Gentle, even coat. I was just thinking I did have round placemats, and I thought it's a fabulous idea to make a set of placemats for your kitchen or lounge. But then, of course, once you paint, you should coat it with a layer of heat-resistant resin. I might go with my biggest circle first. So this is a plate. It's going to be very useful. You will see why. I am going to use grey. That's probably more than enough. And now this baby. How satisfying is that? Look at this. Okay, where am I putting it? Yay! How nice. Now you decide how many times you want to move it. Instead of newspaper, I am going to clean it a little bit on paper. See how much black? I didn't have to do another one, but I'm going to because I really enjoyed it. Now, of course, it's going to be a bit more black. Might leave it. I like it like this. Whoops, I need another plate because I'm going to do the gold now. But I think I want it more sparse. I'm going to remove every other strip. Not to have so many. I want to really apologize. When I was using my special toilet paper tool, the camera died and I don't have the footage just when I was applying the midsection. So I found a black piece of paper and I'm going to, well, recreate the application so you can see what kind of patterns the toilet paper makes. Also depends whether I covered the whole section or just the ends. You know, if you want a bigger hole, just do it in a circle and then you only have paint at the very edge, just like we can do that, just the outer circle. Or I'll show you the difference once I cover all of my little I want to say tentacles, and then we are going to have the opening a bit smaller. See the difference? But it works really well. Can reapply some more. Like this. And I am keeping it. I'm keeping it for later. Once the paint dries, I can reuse it. So that was it. I'm sorry again. So little enhancement. Couple of lines. Just extending bit of gold towards the middle. Such a mess. Okay, last little baby. I might even dip it here and then do this. Slightly too much black here. Don't worry, it's going to be looking good once we finish. Final touches. Now I've got a pink straw. Oh, by the way, I am going to use this brush and grey to make a stem. All right. Did I record putting a little bit of white? I just touched it with a little bit of white. I was just desperate for some white. And it looks all right. I am going to leave it now. Now it's dry. It's the next day. It's cute, but now we can add some detail and embellish it. I was looking for the old one, the one that got so popular. That's the one. That's my first one ever. And yes, we have some pink and some purple and some metallics. What I can see here, I was making some little white lines to create those tiny parachutes, and that's what's needed. So I'm going to do it now. I've lost my brush, but I managed to make one now. A very thin brush. I was so upset about losing my little hero. Anyway, the best thing would be to use pouring acrylics. I'll show you another option. I've got one of those acrylic pens. No, I'm not going to draw the thick lines because, whoops, look, I already messed it up. It's very useful because if they drip, we can do this and we can create a puddle. So I'm dipping my special new tool and making some quick lines towards the center, just like that. Thicker, thinner, doesn't matter, could be overlapping. Mirror got stuck. Let me put something underneath. Okay, so I am going to listen to some music and happily make some little lines. That's it. I can also make some grey lines or golden lines or use a different color. My new brush is working well, I must say. For example, we can add more gold if we want to, here and there. If you think I may be going a bit too fast or would like me to go into more detail on the whole process, you can find extended versions of my tutorials each week on Patreon. I'm trying to make them sort of more messy, but this is not the end. Now the most fun part will come. I am going to try and create those little bristles, which are called papas. That little bristle here that I painted. So we've got the seeds, and then this part. Apparently this part is called the beak, and then we've got the papas. That's just a little biology. And now, just like that, as many as you want. The more you make, the more sort of puffy they will look. Thicker, thinner. So I'm going to create them all around. It's actually fun making them. I'm enjoying myself. It's getting more puffy. And then I'm going to make some more layers. They could be overlapping, one on top of the other. It doesn't matter. If I make it too long, I can always wipe it off like this. I am going to add a couple more layers. Now I'm even mixing with grey, a bit lower. But I'm not going to go very close to the center. Well, I hope you like this little cute dandelion. I know it's very different to what I recently made, but I like it different. Time to fix the stem. They're usually pretty thick. I am going to add a little bit of black to the stem as well, just for some shadow. I'm going to use the end of the brush. I'm dipping in gold, and I'm going to make some golden dots as a base. Some bigger, some smaller, it's fine. So because of the black underneath, it's going to look good because we'll get some contrast. Okay, so we've got this. And now I am going to dip the same end in this grey blue. Here, there. And yes, I do want them overlapping. I do want them blending. I might use a little bit of black to make some of them darker. Maybe closer towards the edge. Some white. A couple more darker ones here on this side. And I hope that creates some depth. Once it's dry, I might show you how to apply resin to it to create, I don't know, placemat or preserve your artwork. So I'm going to apply a little gold just to lighten up this section, since we've got again this side a bit darker, and I will call it finished. And I wonder who's going to make it first. If you're posting on the social media, please do mention me as a source of inspiration. I would really appreciate it. It's such a nice thing to do. I'm going to coat one with resin, the placemat. I'm going to tape it around so the resin doesn't get actually onto the cork. It's very simple, even though it's round. That's the way I do it. You'll see in a minute. And I'm going to go around, and then I'm going to trim the excess of tape. Ta-da! Now I do this all around. When you're going to apply resin, the first step would be to check whether your surface is clean. I wiped my surface with some isopropyl alcohol, and then make sure it's level. Your table is level, so that the resin won't drip onto one side. Most of the resin companies will have a guide on their side how much to use for the given surface. However, as you can imagine, I just eyeball everything. So I am going to mix hardener and resin, and then I'm going to put them in here and mix them. It's a really small amount, 1:1 by volume. Let's just do this. Now I'm going to mix it well, scraping the edges. Gloves are a must. Also, I recommend using a respirator, and you should be working in a well ventilated area. It's always so satisfying applying resin. Growing. So now I'm going to use my stick and spread it towards the edges, making sure that my golden edge is covered as well. It's a thick layer in the middle now. It's like making those crepes. See, I was worried that wasn't enough. It's plenty, quite a thick layer. You see the bubbles on the very surface now. They are surfacing and most of them disappeared. But I'm going to torch them quickly. Get rid of them. Yeah, this is going to be a nice surface. I'm going to cover it to protect it from possible specks of dust, and then I'll take it for close-ups. There we are. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please consider subscribing and leaving a comment below the video. If you thought that I was going a bit too fast or you are looking for some extra content, please check out my Patreon. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next Saturday. Bye bye.